even though it's a different season, it's the first time you guys are playing, what are some of the threats that a team like Vegas does bring into this matchup?
Yeah, they've got a lot of really good top-end talent. We have to make sure that we pick up those guys on the rush. We can't let them wheel and deal and have free ice to the neutral zone tonight, because that's one of the biggest parts about their offense and how they generate. And just, offensively, we got to make sure that their low forward works. That we have to make sure that we change sides and make it so that they can't just sit in their box, sit tight, and allow us to sit on the outside. We got to be able to penetrate and get through to it.
When you guys are playing your best defensively, what are those elements that are working so well?
I just on the defensive side, like our gaps, our swings, our squeeze at the blue line, we're not giving up that free entry off the zone. That's a big one, in my opinion. I think that's really what stifles a lot of offenses and makes teams frustrated if they don't want to dump the puck and they don't want to. They want to enter with possession, and when you take that away from them, it makes it for a long night.
When it comes to special teams, this is a really good special teams matchup as well. Their power play is really good. This penalty is really good. You guys are still finding a lot of great opportunities on your own power play. What's the keys to getting both sides of special teams firing tonight?
Well, we have a lot of confidence in our PK right now, and it's transferring that over to our power play and understanding that you have to have guys that believe in what the coaches put forward, and we do, and they believe in their own abilities, and we do, and you just put them both together, and you'll have a good result tonight.
Some of the guys have talked about it was maybe a slower start in San Jose. So what are the things that, as a group, you guys can do if maybe the energy is starting to slack or the execution is slacking, that you can get right back into it in the middle of a period?
I think you just got to get involved in the game early. I think it's whether you dump in and get a hit in, you get a shot, you take a hit. You got to do something to get yourself involved, get the juices flowing, right? The emotion part of the game, right? Like physically, we're all ready to go, but so emotionally, you got to get yourself invested early. And I always find that if that happens, a lot of good things will happen for your team.
Nice to see you at home again. That's good. So, a few changes in the lineup. Obi is going in for Yami. Yami's played really well last game, but like we said, it was back-to-back load management. He was soon in the lineup. He played solid, but Obi played really solid as well in Anaheim, and we went in that direction. Same thing for Sima. Sima is back in the lineup for Oli. A few change in our lines as well, but Aids back with Kels and Schmaltzy. Aids has a good inside game. He goes at the net, more net presence, so hopefully create a little bit more of that. And same thing on the power play. He's back on the first unit, like the unit we had last year. That's for the same purpose. I think Aids is a good inside guy. We want more traffic, more shot from the blue line, from Tourigny, but from everybody, but from the top. And when there's no traffic, when we shoot the puck, there's not the same efficiency, doesn't create the same rebound, the same chaos. So we went in that direction, and at the same time that create a second unit who can be a threat with the one-timer of JJ and Cools quarterbacking the play on the left flank, and having Crosser in the slot, who Crosser is really good in loose puck recovery, so hopefully that will help in that regards. And Kool-Aid is back with Gunner, and we put Karks with them. Karks has the speed with that line, and he's playing heavy as well in this battle, so that's the rationale in our change.
When it comes to strong neutral zone play, what are some of the keys that when your team is playing their best with anything in the neutral zone, shutting down opponents' rush, what are some of those elements that they're doing well?
Well, there's three parts of it. There's the part where you can be in the neutral zone forecheck, where it's about structure, pushing the opponent on the outside, and having a good pressure at any lines you can, picking your battle. I think we do a good job at it. With the second part is off the rush, is with the gap of the D and the reload of the forwards, and that has been a strength of us. We did a good job of it since the start of the season, which it was not in the past. So we're happy about the way the boys are working on that part. Where we need to be better is sorted out when that crossed the blue line. When that crossed the blue line, the way we explain it a lot is the game asks a lot of questions. You don't really know what will be the coverage before, because you don't know if, for example, the sport will drive the net, or if he will stay behind for a ladder play or something like that, or if there will be a double drive the net, or so on and so forth. So the offense kind of dictate what you need to do in your coverage. So that what lead to that is for us. Well, what's important for us to that is communication. We know what we want to do. We know who's taking the speed to the net, but you cannot identify that before they cross the blue line and they make the first move. So the communication from there is super important. And the obvious is the best is to apply pressure in the neutral zone, so you don't let them ask you all those questions when they get in.
What have you seen from your team in overtime that needs to get better so that you guys can walk away with 2 points in each of those games?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think we started the season pretty good. We worked at it during training camp. There were some miscommunication on the first game. There were an unmanned rush on the second game on the turnover, and then the third game is on the PK. So it's a bad change with bad decision. So that's three different situations. If it was one, that would be easier to say, okay, that's what we need to be better. It's three situations where we need to have a little bit more urgency and a little bit more aware. I think the big thing in overtime or at 4-on-4 is a little bit the same. Is you need to take the same pride in defense than you take in offense. The old mindset often is, hey, okay, it's 3-on-3, it's 4-on-4. There will be more time and space. Well, yeah, for the other team too. So you need to make sure you check the right way, and then you will have your opportunity offensively. If you look at the game, we play at 3-on-3 and we had success. We had a lot of urgency without the puck as well, and a lot of urgency with the puck at not turning it over and keep remaining in possession, which we didn't do in Anaheim.
We talk about pressure as a part of the game. When it comes to internal pressure and wanting to play and perform at a certain capacity, how are you helping your guys manage that when they are feeling their own internal pressure to perform a certain way? Yeah,
I think we have a lot of support inside our organization for that, for the boys, but as well, those guys are professional. I think it's something, there's no pills for that, and there's no speech you can have who will be a switch and suddenly it will become good. It's experience. You need to be 1% better every day and on every opportunity, and you get better. I think there's some guys who already start from at a different level where they can manage that pressure, they can handle it, and there's other guys who have more road to do, more road to achieve greatness in that sense. But I think communication is the base, having tools for them, having a resource for them, and as well, I think you need to know you support them and you're with them. That's important.
And then just through these first 20 games of the season, the evolution of this season so far, what are you seeing from this group in just the first quarter of the season?
In terms of? Just
in terms of, we talked about phases of training camp. Where are the phases of this season starting for you, and what are you seeing?
I think there were a few phases. I think right now we're playing tight game every night. Every night it's one-shot game. And if you look across the league, I look at, again, last night, I think there were 4 games, 2 in overtime, 1 empty netter, and the other one was more than 1 goal of difference. So it's always 1 goal of difference and probably 70 or 80% of the game. So you need, except the empty net goal. So I think you need to be really consistent in your performance, and I think we've been consistent since the beginning. If you look at, don't want to, how can I say that? It's, the number of games we played on the road, it had a challenge for our team. I think we have an opportunity right now to have a home stand, to be at home a little bit. Even if our schedule, we're in the stretch right now, we'll play 21 games in 37 days. So it's every second day plus the back-to-backs. We will never have 2 days between games. So rest will be important. How we manage the load management will be really important as well. In game, between games, stuff like that. So everything will. But if you look across the league, team who play as many game on the road than us, there's only 2 more teams who play 13 games on the road and 1 play 14. And all those teams who played that many games, I think there's only 1 team who's ahead of us in the standing. So that's, if I'm not mistaken, Edmonton has played 14. They're behind us. Calgary played 13. They're behind us. And there's LA, who's 1 point ahead of us, who played the same number of games than us on the road. So it's not an excuse. We need to win games, But our guys, they're working, they're competing, they're consistent. They go in the back-to-back. They come back from 2-0. There's always frustration. We want to win. We're a competitive group. But there's a half empty or half full glass, and it's important to put things in perspective and stay hungry to be better. We want to be better. We want to win games. We think lately we're doing what we have to do.
As a whole, as a team, what can the guys do to help lift the goaltending situation right now?
You know, it's a good question, Cole, because it's always, again, half full, half empty. You can look at it. If you look the number of shots we're giving per game, we're not giving a lot. So the margin of error for our goalie is really small. If you look at Vanecek last game, he's 2 goals out of 21 shots. Pretty good. Overtime, 22nd shot, puck go in. Now, you look at save percentage, no good. Wow. If the game's finished in 60 minutes, we say he has a good game. You know, when you give 20, 21, 22 shot a game, goalie doesn't have a lot of mulligan. So we're putting them in that kind of a situation. We need to keep improving the quality of chance we gave. So we give them a chance to improve shooting percentage. That is one way to look at it. The other way we look at it is when the game is on the line, do they give you a chance? At big moment, they need to come up big. And yesterday, or last game, you understand, we had a moment where we were down 2-0 and V made 2 really key saves. If he doesn't make those saves, now it's 3-0, maybe 4-0. Now we're in trouble. Instead of that, he kept us there, and we scored the 2 goals, and we came back, and we got a point. So we can look at it and say, save percentage in that game is below 900. Or we can say, without him, we don't get a point. So it depends about how you want to look at it. If the glass is half empty or is half full. If it's half full, without him, we don't get a point. If it's half empty, it's below 900. I think he came up big at key moment. That's what I think. And tonight, Vegas is a really good team. They're really good off the cycling. They're one of the best team in the league, if not the best at it. We will need what Veg do, make key saves at key moments. So you know who's playing tonight.
Sorry, really quick. Is there any update on Dursey?
It's coming. It's close. Like you can see today, he had a black jersey, so we're day to day at this point. I don't know. They didn't tell me to get excited yet, so I'm not excited yet. But I'm smart enough to understand when he doesn't have a different color of jersey is because it's getting close. Thanks, everyone.